struggle. I leapt quickly, like a man taking his last spring, to save himself from the chasm that threatens to engulf him. My effort was...
the size of that 56-inch jet.
Well, time is running down. There's only 2 seconds to go. That's it! Oh, my!
What are you battling, and what's the adversity been like?
Well, I mean, eight days ago, I tore my ACL. And my other knee, I'm wrestling with no ACLs.
The only thing that separates those people from regular people is the fact that they believe in the impossible. And so while we might not be on that level quite yet, I'm sure there's an impossible in your life, whether that's a weight you think you can't lift or an opponent you think you can't beat. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Most people are actually stronger than they think they are, but you're going to experience some weight, maybe it's a little heavier than you're used to, add on the 2.5s, and it's going to fight back. But most people, when they experience their resistance, that's when they're going to give into it, they're going to drop the weight, and they're going to deem it as something that's impossible. Whereas if they would have kept going with it, they would have gotten it pretty easily. Sometimes, as dumb as it may be, the answer is simply push harder. And so you can understand what I mean by this, I'm going to show you some clips from when I was building up my deadlift, and there was one weight that just did not want to go up. The weight that just didn't want to move, no matter what I did to it, was 345. When you encounter those weights, you try. And you try again. And again. And again. And it still doesn't move. Oh, maybe I can lift my hips up so I can effectively engage my posterior chain more. Maybe I can bring my head back over my spine so I can make it a lot easier to pull, or I can use hook grip to get my lats more engaged, or I can use more chalk or a better belt or some kind of shoes that make my lift better. And that way I won't have to worry about getting off balance or squatting on a mattress. No! There's no fancy technique. You just have to do it. But let me tell you, this is not what a max effort deadlift looks like.
Here we go. Come on, it's moving. It's over the knees. Come on.
Wow.
Come on.
He's got it.
The blood's coming out. Come on, lock it
Let's
up.
go.
Oh. Can he fix it? He's shaking.
Goodly.
Wow.
That's better. Russians are different, but since I could see that was possible, that someone could do that, I decided, why don't I just push harder on this deadlift and see what happens? If Mikhail Shivlakov can get his nose to bleed on a deadlift, why can't mine? And take a guess what happened immediately after I broke that glass ceiling. I didn't suddenly just get stronger in the last 20 seconds. That's not how it works. This changed, and that's what allowed me to use the strength I already had. You can do it too, and as a matter of fact, I hope you get to experience one of these challenging periods. As much as it sucks while it's going on, once you get past it, it's going to help you with everything else in your life. Because you can gain the confidence to know you can get through any kind of barrier, whether that's in your sport, lifting, or even at school, where let's say like you got half your assignments done and it's late at night, but you know that you can grind through that because you've done worse. You've been able to progress through something you thought was impossible in the past. Why can't you do this? One of the wrestlers that I train, he's a really hard-working guy. He can't lift 225 yet off the ground for a deadlift. Gets about halfway up his shin, then he looks like a scared cat like me when I do my deadlifts. But if you put 215 on the bar, he can get it for 4 reps, maybe even 5, 6. That epiphany is coming for him. Once that happens, that's going to help him in every other aspect of the sport and the rest of his life. And that's why I think this stuff's so important. Maybe you don't want to win a gold medal someday, but this is still going to help you out in any other aspect of your life. That's why you got to start building that mindset now. Because in the grand scheme of things, lifting doesn't matter as much. But when something bigger along does come in your life, you'll have that mindset already there. You know you can do what would otherwise be impossible to other people. That's going to put you a lot farther than anybody else in life. Alright, hopefully today you were able to learn how to redefine what you think is possible in your mind. If you have any other mindset questions or just general questions, leave them down in the comments. Until then, subscribe, like, and see you in the next video.